As always, before we begin, let's spend a few minutes in silence, reflecting on this beautiful, elevated value of reverence. Asking oneself, what do I revere most in my life? Also, looking at those people in life whom I revere the most. Those people who have made a difference in my life in some way or the other. And what are those qualities which I look up to them, which makes me feel reverence for them? And also from today's workshop, let me try to look at the spiritual perspective of reverence. And in what different ways can I enhance my reverence, not only for the self and others, for nature and the other beings around. So with this preamble, let's begin our workshop. A big hearty welcome to all the participants. There'll be a few more joining soon. And also thanks to all the interpreters for being there on time as always. And also our two facilitators. Welcome Sister Anu from Vancouver and Sister Priel from Nagpur. So thank you both of you. And let's begin with the first activity, the icebreaker. I hope people don't give me a chance to complain if they join late. Let's go on. We'll jump directly to the icebreaker video and let's see what insights you have to gain from this video, which you are then welcome to share in the, you can keep sharing in the chat box as you see the video as well, and later as well. Okay, so a pretty self-explanatory video. You can start sharing your responses in the chat box. Okay, this silence kills me. Well, someone is saying Om Namah Shivaya. Maybe that's by mistake. Okay. That was a good one to start. Right. Okay, yeah, here we have something in the chat box. Sorry, I missed. So Linda is saying, if I can just request Deep Patel. I had muted him, but if you can just keep yourself mute, thank you. It's getting unmuted. Maybe some technical glitch. It's okay. So Linda, thank you. Lovely video. Is there a link? Yeah, we'll share the link in the, I'll share it in a while now, as I did last time. Brijpal Bhai is saying, caring and sharing is reverence. Indeed, yes. Balwinder sister says, saw all of us as a big bird and all of us as little ones. Okay, interesting. Though I didn't understand quite a bit. So if you want to just expand on this, we have a couple of minutes, Sister Balwinder. Okay, yeah, thank you, Deepak Bhai. You have shared the link. So Sister Linda, you can go ahead and save that. Okay. Right, we have 2 minutes left. If not, then we can just move on to the first exercise. No worries. You'll enjoy more of that. And Senem is saying, this is so sweet. The big one who seems unwanted by the little ones, making them all squeeze, even if involuntarily. Yeah, that bird was the big bird, was the odd one out. And then in the end, he or she made them realize his importance. Yeah, true. Though it was sort of not purposefully. That bird just showed them the importance of reverence. Okay, great. So I think we'll move on to the first activity. Over to you, Sister Annie. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a fun video in a way, laughter, but yeah, very deeper message that, yeah, sharing is more fun. So if we want to share, the space is never less. So as we always start, let's start with our own self-reflection in our own life about the value of reverence. And reverence, such a beautiful virtue, value. There is respect, there is gratitude, there is love, care, everything together that you feel for many things of life and many people in life. So we don't exist without reverence in our hearts. So in the very first exercise, let's go on a reflection question, that is, look at your life journey so far and reflect on what things, people, nature, or anything else that you revere a lot in your life. At least one aspect, anything, or the nature aspect, or people, your work. What is that you revere a lot? That has more than just respect, or that is love, gratitude, everything that makes your heart feel full. We'll take 1 minute to reflect on this question. Rona singing. I'm sure you tapped onto that. Now it's the festival season. As we can see itself, it fills our heart with so much joy. What is that particular one thing that you revere a lot in your life? So let's hear from you. If you like to share, unmute and share, whoever likes to share. I know I see a lot of messages on the chat, but anybody who would like to unmute and share? I can start reading from the chart.
Okay,
So
I can speak.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I
Okay.
revere God because I can rely on Him forever, always, and I think He's the only one and the only things which I can revere, in fact, because He will be there forever. Everyone else I respect, but it's difference of revering.
Right. So yeah, there are so many things that we revere. So would you still spot on one thing at the moment that you revere the most?
Well, spiritual study, spiritual knowledge, because it's always every morning there.
Right. And that makes you feel so full, right? In many
I
different.
take a lot of support from it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So Linda says that she thanks, thank you so much. I work with people with learning disabilities in London, and it will be so inclusive and powerful for them. Okay, we share BK values and they could teach the world leaders. So much gratitude to BK. So she's, we can say revering BK again, Brahma Kumari's teachings, this spiritual teachings. And Brother Manoj says, people and my parents. People, his parents, he revered. And Michael says, I revere God because I can always and forever rely on him. God is selfless, doesn't need anything from me, but he's always there for me. So yeah, the spiritual study through which we can connect with God, that is the most powerful thing we have in life. Deepak, brother says, God, parents, all the souls in my life. Yeah. When we understand every person who passes my path, they have given me something, then we feel our heart gets filled with gratitude or reverence. Puja, sister says, the Almighty. Manuel, brother who is translating Portuguese, says, life in itself. Again, brother Manoj says, in things, my laptop, okay. With the laptop, we reach out to the world, definitely. Subhash says, nature and culture of India. Yeah. And Manoj brother says, nature, Mother Earth. Denise says, I think I have a lot of natural reverence for nature, some for the Christmas season and for the spiritual study and God, although not as much as I think I should have, taking for granted too much, taking God for granted. That's a good concept to think about. Then Sangeeta says the Gyan, again, the knowledge, spiritual knowledge that we learn at Brahma Kumaris, and the transformation in me which have occurred since I got the knowledge. Beautiful, Sangeeta. Sanem says those who are still able to share a smile, listen and try to understand when approached, whatever situation, but especially during challenging times. Yeah, that's a ability of being there, having that pure love and care for someone, that quality revere in everyone who share a smile, listen, and try to understand. Beautiful. Thank you, Sanam. We still have a little time. We have a lot of time. Anyone who would like to share? It's nice to reflect on, catch it, and share. Yes, Priyal, maybe we'll start with you and then Dr. Manoj.
Okay, I revere a lot all the teachers that I have had in my life because in like first Almighty who has taught us so much, uh, primarily because they empower us a lot and not make us dependent on them. So you become somebody who can help others also who are in need. So I revere a lot all the teachers who have made me who I am today. So
Beautiful. So they became the instrument. And again, it is that knowledge aspect. They actually teach you, don't make you dependent. You go and help somebody else. Beautiful. Yeah, all the teachers. Yes, Dr. Manoj Bhai, you want to
Sorry, I'm just taking time. I'm sorry. But I thought I'll just pass on my reverence first to all the facilitators and the interpreters, because without you all, this would not have been possible. We are going on 79 episode and workshop. A big reverence to Dr. Mehta for supporting us in this endeavor of values workshop and episodes. We have another beautiful soul, Vihasa Online India, Sister Pooja, who's always there in the background. She's preparing all the PowerPoints. I really can't stop having reverence for each one of you. So thank you. And Sister Pooja, thank you for joining. And I think Sister Balvinder is eagerly waiting. Over to you.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for everybody who made this program happen and the love, everyone's love for this program, because again, I think it takes us deep inside of us, make us feel so full or, rich. So yeah, thanks to all audience too. Thank you, Brother Manoj, for bringing that up. Yes, Balvinder, you'd like to share?
Yeah, Om Shanti Ji, and good morning, everyone. I bow down with deepest level of highest respect for everyone in this class, and very special hosting team for making me conscious and for inviting extraordinary, brilliant speaker who have sacrificed their lives, and they have become the best role model for all of us. And you have also made me realize how wonderful, how powerful I am. You made me realize my greatest goodness within me. So you all deserve full reference forever from my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Saying that, and it is the reverence for, I'm sure, the beautiful values we hold within, and that comes out. So as you said rightly, to make you connect with your values. But yeah, we have to be here together, then that can be possible. So thanks to you too, the reverence for you as well, and thanks for reverence for all of us for all these programs happening. And I think Lara says in Portuguese that I revere everything to the Supreme Father because he showed me that he can always be with me. I just need to have this faith, and to drama for teaching me. The drama is whatever the life situations that come are a part of our life, they teach us, but only if we can focus or bring our attention to what is that I need to learn. And then we can always really revere for whatever situations, because that make us progress. So thank you so much. I think wonderful sharings and a great start, and there is much more to come. So we can move on. Before that, I'll ask Deepak Bhai to show, as he is noting down all your sharings, that will share with all of you after the session. Yeah, beautiful. revering God Almighty has come few times. Again, in people, parents, definitely, always, they make us what we are today. Laptop, without that, all the technologically that we connect with the world wouldn't be possible. And everybody who give their dedication to create programs like this or making this togetherness possible. So the interpreters, translators, kings, again, God, parents, all the souls that you meet in your life. And again, the beacon knowledge, the Brahma Kumari's spiritual teachings, all the teachers in our life, starting from childhood, kindergarten to whatever, how they stand there and what knowledge they impart that stays with us throughout our life. Mother Nature, Earth, nature and culture of India, and those ability, quality, those people who can share a smile, listen and try to understand any situation in your life. They give a non-judgmental hearing ears, right? Unconditionally there. Again, the Gyan, the knowledge, spiritual knowledge that brought transformation in our life, that changes us every moment. And again, nature, the seasons, joyful Christmas season is here, revering that. I think there is more sharings, but yeah. So thank you, everyone. Let's move on to the next one as Brother Manoj will take us through the meditation on reverence.
Okay, so wonderful. So whatever we have spoken so far, let's convert that into an experience and try to experience. So sit back, relax.
Music is interfering.
Just so otherwise I'll just go silent.
Yes, silent is better because still.
Is that okay now? I'm still cutting off.
Still cutting off. It's not a smooth move.
That's
It's
fine.
okay.
So let's have reverence for technology as well. Okay, so let's sit back and try to create this experience, what we have spoken so far. So relax, take a deep breath in and out. And let's go within. The first, most important reverence is for the self. The realization that I am this beautiful, sparkling energy. Let me revere myself for all those qualities and virtues which are inbuilt within me. And it's been a while now that I haven't got a chance to see them. So let me go inside on this beautiful inner journey. And have reverence for the self. And let's move to the second step. As all of you have already mentioned that the Almighty, the Supreme Being, who's the ocean of all qualities and powers. Let me have multi-million times gratitude for that being who's given me a chance to know who I am, to know my true inner potential, which I wasn't aware of before. Let me have reverence for the self and the Supreme Being. And as all of us have looked at our life journey so far, we have references for many people, for things, for nature. And now that I have started my spiritual journey, knowing my own inner potential and the Supreme Being, let me try to enhance my reverence for everyone around me. And think of new ways, new creative ideas by which I can be reverent towards them. And let us, from this brief meditative experience, try to slip into the action planning of how I can increase my reverence for others. So with this, I'll pass it on to Sister Priyal. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Manoj, for taking us through such powerful meditative experience. We usually tend to forget revering our own selves, and thank you for reminding us to really respect and go have that feeling of reverence for ourselves as well. So with that, let's move on to now action planning. Now, action planning, as we all know, is an opportunity. Okay. A minute, I'm sorry about that.
Do you need help? You want me to share it or?
No, I'll do it. Okay. So in action planning, as we all know, we get an opportunity to enhance the experience of the value that we have been going through. So in today's action planning, we'll find out the ways to enhance reverence in our life. So it's a reflective exercise wherein you will get time to reflect on various methods and ways in which you can inculcate reverence in your daily life and to how to enhance reverence for your life. So take a few moments to reflect on how to enhance reverence in your life. There's a problem actually.
It's all right. Of course.
Okay. So you can raise your hands if you would want to speak and share your learnings. Or you can also type your reflections in the chat box, but it will be really great. We would want to listen to what you have to say. Okay. So there are a few sharings. Okay. So Manoj Bhai says, by practicing more and more the consciousness of being the beautiful energy, that is being in soul consciousness, I guess that is what enhances my reverence for everyone, including himself. Pooja says, by having an attitude of gratitude, we can enhance reverence in our lives for everything and everybody that is there in our life. Subhas says, a daily murli and meditation can enhance your reverence in life. So murli is the daily teachings that we get at the Brahma Kumaris. So by that, one can enhance we can change the way we look at life and enhance gratitude in the life towards everything that we have in life. Dr. Ashok Mehta says, see others as sparkling stars, that is souls. So when you see others as sparkling stars or as souls, you can automatically have reverence towards every other being as well. Sister Anu says, stopping for a minute a few times a day to feel gratitude for each person and situation in life, for every of those aspects that have made me richer in life. Beautiful. So when you take that practical break, a moment to just reflect on what is happening in your life and being thankful and grateful for what you have, can enhance your reverence and the experience of your life. Beautiful. Sanem says, constant method, stepping back, observing yourself and the situation, then steering. Introversion and silence is the key. Seeing the big picture after studying or thinking thoroughly, clearly. Wonderful. So these are the practical steps that are being shared by all the participants, which are so powerful and empowering, that you step back, you observe yourself and the situation, and then steer. Introversion and steering is the key. Beautiful. There is a Portuguese translation. Be honest with yourself, and the life will be honest and generous with you. Amazing. Sister Balvinder says, forgiving truly, completely, forever the mistakes done by my enemies, sending them blessings because of their actions. I found myself loving, caring, forgiving, improving myself each day. So empowering. Dr. Mehta says, see their positive side of life and imbibe what I do not have. Amazing. Mitchell says, whatever is my spiritual effort which create my life, I can always make it better, stronger, more intense, imply more, etc. So that's how one can enhance reverence in life. Beautiful. Deepak says, being detached observers to life situations can enhance reverence in life. Yes. Pavan says, amidst of mud, I am living lotus like life. I'm living lotus like life that enhances my reverence in Baba's knowledge. Baba is the supreme, we call Baba. Lovingly, we call him Baba. Dinesh says, there is Lara is saying, we'll have the translation probably. Dinesh says, I can enhance reverence by doing everything without expecting some outcome. Results will automatically be good if work is done with reverence. Amazing. So you can enhance reverence without expecting something. Harpreet says, being a soul conscious and seeing others as soul, focusing on gratitude and giving others, will enhance reverence. Amazing. Sarabjit says, yes, we should be thankful to God. What we have enhance my reverence. Being thankful for what you have in life. Translation for, I think, reminding myself my purpose in life is to give the best of myself, and for that I need to connect with the bestower of all values or virtues, that is the Supreme. So by reminding myself the purpose and by connecting with the Supreme, we can enhance reverence. Whenever I have, whenever I got a new point in Murli and when I could implement it in my life, which results in big transformation. Lara says, practice the awareness that absolutely everything is good and that everything passes, being grateful for each situation, no matter how bad it seems. B.K. Dennis says, humility, valuing the self, wonder of life, and full gratitude for our sweetest beloved Mother, Father, God, and all He does for me. Beautiful sharing for all of you. Thank you for that. Yeah, Brother Manoj, you would want to share.
I'm just saying I have reverence for all of you all, but I'm saying all of you are very lazy now today. All of you are just writing in the chat box. We have almost 6 minutes left. Please seize the opportunity and you have time to share if you want to share some of your beautiful stories, but in short. I think someone has a question. Maybe Dr. Gaurav Agarwal can go ahead and voice it. Let's see what we get in return.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. So the question is simple because I'm always confused. I mean, maybe after listening to this one, how do I differentiate? I mean, is it that should I have a reverence for every human being, or should I, respect every human being? I don't know. Maybe reverence is reserved only for somebody in respect of a very, very high order. But if it has to be very high order, then I would remove the word respect from my dictionary, and I would hold everybody in reverence for eternity. You get my point. So that is the question.
Yeah, I think you've answered your question, and we have Sister Rona already from Manhattan. She can throw more light on that. And last time, Sister Denise also said this, that respect and reverence are sort of two different words, but reverence is really at a very higher level, as you rightly said. So you're right, and I think what you're saying. And thank you, Sister Rona, for joining, but we'll give you the mic later after we finish the summary sharing. Yeah, so I think you can take this point if you have heard. Dr. Gaurav Agarwal is one of our regular participants. And his question is, I'll just repeat it so that you can speak it when you're talking about the value, that what is the difference between respect and reverence towards a human being? So maybe you can cover that later. Difference between respect and reverence. Or you want to say a few words, that's fine with me now. No? Okay, fine. So we'll just cover that later, Gaurav. I hope that's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So with all those beautiful sharings that we had, I really thank everybody for sharing those heartfelt sharings. I request Brother Deepak to share.
I think Rona has unmuted. Maybe we can
Please
take.
go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I like to make it fast because I might get. So I think living in the moment and making the most of it is the most important thing that we need to do now, because you never know what is going to happen the next moment. So I think that will increase the reverence. If you take people, things and all, somebody was mentioning laptop and all those things, but higher than laptop, if the laptop doesn't have any charge, or there is no network connectivity, then it won't work. Laptop by itself, it doesn't work. So every single thing, a little or a big, the size doesn't matter. The contribution is equally good. That I think that way it works. So everything and everyone, and living in the moment, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you for your sharings, Rena. Okay. So can we have the summary of the sharings of action planning? Okay. Okay, so with all the heartfelt sharings from everybody, how can we enhance reverence in our lives? By having attitude of gratitude, by practicing more and more consciousness of being a beautiful soul, by seeing others as soul again, by listening to the daily versions of God or the Supreme and meditating every day. Then there are certain practical methods that have been shared by all of us. Is constant, like stepping back, observing yourself and the situation, and then steering in the direction that you feel right. Practicing introversion and silence, and seeing the big picture and thinking thoroughly through it so that you get a clear answer. Being honest with yourself in life, and just being seeing the positive side of life and imbibing those things that you do not have. Forgiving completely the mistakes which are done by the other people, and then looking at what you have gained from it, and being detached observers to our life situations and seeing the positivities in it, and living a life, reminding yourself that you are a living lotus, that is, in spite of all the problems that you're having in your life, you are above all of those things. And you can enhance reverence by doing everything without expecting any outcome. So the results meaning that you'll all automatically get, if you're doing good, you would get back the good only. Again, being thankful and grateful to the Supreme for whatever we have, and having the attitude of gratitude, reminding yourself of the purpose that you are living with, and doing the best of myself. And for that, you need to connect with the Supreme as well. Practice the awareness that absolutely everything is good and everything will pass. Being grateful for every situation that you have, having humility, valuing yourself, having and the wonder of life, and full gratitude for the Supreme, and living in the moment and making the most of it. I think COVID has taught us all of those things, like how to live in the moment, because you never know what are things are going to happen. So those were the beautiful sharing. Thank you, all of you. And now I'll give it to Dr. Manoj for further progress.
Thank you so much. It's very pleasing to see the slides full of matter. So thank you so much all for your sharings. And before we pass it on to Sister Rona, let me just also, before I begin sharing the slide summary of the last weekend talk, if there are new participants, if you all can please share your email addresses and your WhatsApp numbers. If you feel free, you can share it to everyone, or to Sister Anu or Vidhi. So Sister Anu, I think, is there, and maybe Vidhi as well, or you can share it to everyone. So you can receive all the materials, what we have discussed so far. We send it in the email, and also you can keep a track of our upcoming events. So let's move on to what Sister Denise had to say. So she started with how God is revered as the most important being. And she said it can be used, the word reverence, for God or nature. And as we were discussing, Gaurav Bhai got it out that reverence is something much more higher than respect. Excuse me. So she was also mentioning about how the places of worship that are revered are getting destroyed. We are not trying to go there in any of the details. We are seeing many things happening in the world outside in the name of religion. So there is no reverence left for that as well. And the beliefs that people have are based on a certain logic. And we say birds of a single feather flock together. It's upon that. Like if they have certain commonalities, some common beliefs they share, they behave like that. So that is the thing which holds humanity together as far as their group is concerned. But sometimes it can be counterproductive. Then she also went on to say that when things go wrong, people remember God. And then people remember God in a very negative sense, that if God is around, if God is everywhere, why is this so much of havoc and chaos going on? So that way, at some point of time, the reverence for God goes down. So she says that how does one maintain the reverence for God and the sacredness that he stands for and what he teaches? So we need to realize that she also mentioned as a passing remark that it's a big karmic rebound. What we are seeing outside is something, our misdoings of the past, all the calamities, the earthquakes, the war, everything going on is something, our misdoings from the past. God has nothing to do with that, because God is the supreme parent of all the souls in the world, and he wouldn't want to give such suffering to each of his children. So she said that there is faulty logic if that is applied, that God is causing or allowing all calamities. As I said, she got in the point of philosophy of karma. Let me not go there. Then she went on to say about nature, that how we should be having a lot of reverence for nature. And we know the COP28 happened. I think 28 meetings, conference of parties have happened so far, and this was in Dubai. And a lot of administrative heads, bureaucrats, politicians, industrialists, they come together trying to discuss about many aspects, that why the climate is changing so drastically. But I think, sorry to say, the solution is not very clear to them as well. We all live for a higher purpose. That's what she had to say. And the wisdom that we get from God gives us this higher purpose. So God is the supreme teacher and even the supreme parent who will never harm any one of us. And God's will is that his children become so competent that they are able to deal with the challenges of life. And she also mentioned that here at the Brahma Kumaris, we are taught this beautiful concept that become a lighthouse, in the sense that be the one who gives a direction to the ones who are lost and save them. She also mentioned, as I said, about nature being so powerful, and we should actually be humble towards nature. And we have really exploited Mother Earth in many ways. So in some way or the other, we are having a karmic rebound in the form of calamities. So let's not forget our humility and our reverence for Mother Earth. She said that it is only the love for God, the love of God, energy of God, and wisdom of God that is going to enable us to pass through these tough circumstances. And also she said that reverence is like an energy that you give and that you feel towards what you revere. So it's basically an energy. And question time, there were quite a few interesting questions. Let me take that and let's see how much we can cover. So we had a question about having reverence for objects or things. And does our reverence change depending on someone's qualifications or social status? So she said that these two things don't determine a person's greatness. You can have great people with a lot of integrity who have no educational qualification or no status. And these are the things which impress people rather than their qualifications. We went on to speak about euthanasia, which is mercy killing. So she said that I asked her the thoughts on that, whether she supports that or not, but very rightly she said that it's nothing to be supported or be against. It's just different beliefs and laws which people have. And she said she would not want to comment on that. And I think that's very true as an answer. That's something which you're not an expert of, and something which may vary from country to country and from religion to religion should not be discussed. Someone had asked a question that I am new to the Brahma Kumari's knowledge and I'm unable to accept the complete perfect form which is taught here, that your aim is to become someone complete like the Hindu deities, speaking of Lakshmi and Narayan. So how can I relate to that? Though I like the philosophy a lot. So the answer was that she said, it doesn't matter. There are two figures in Christianity, Jesus Christ himself and his mother Virgin Mary, who are also revered. And they also share the same qualities as that of Lakshmi and Narayan. So she said in Christianity, it is said that follow Christ. So do that, and to understand Raj Yoga and people that existed during the time of paradise, then you will realize that it existed. So in short, there's no need to be attached to those two symbols of Lakshmi and Narayan. just keep doing understand the Raj Yoga, keep doing it, and you can just evoke your complete and perfect form. And also at various places in Christianity, these two words come in, paradise and golden age, or Garden of Eden as well. So the mention of this golden age, Satyug, what we call in Hindi, is there in all religions, though it's different names, but the meaning remains the same. Okay, then the next question was, is there any spiritual way to reduce the carbon footprint? So she just went on to say that carbon footprint reduction is just one of the ways to improve climate change. And climate change, whether it's human induced or not, we have to decide. She went on to say that it is not only human, but it is also predestined, because again, according to Brahma Kumaris here, we are taught that everything is cyclic, right? We know on a shorter or a smaller level, day follows night. At a slightly bigger level, it is the seasons following each other. And then at a very bigger level, we have those ages, the golden age, silver, copper, so on and so forth, the iron age. So all these is cyclic and it is predestined. So we don't need to really look at it only from the impact from population and fossil fuels. So this happens from time to time, and the Earth is going through a huge change. She said, she spoke about the tilt of 23 degrees. We know the Earth is tilted. And we also know that at the end of this cycle, when the golden age is supposed to come, that when this massive upheaval happens of all the 5 elements, the Earth tilts back to its 0 degree. So it means it goes to 0 tilt. And then you have equal day and night. So she also mentioned about the electromagnetic pull in the Earth's core inside and the mantle. There's a lot of electromagnetic changes happening, and that, she said, is nothing to do with humanity. Though I feel that a lot of human intervention also is responsible for exploitation of the Earth. And when we exploit the Earth, we definitely also affect the electromagnetic things inside. She also mentioned about the things going on in the sun. They are impacting climate change too. So she just was trying to say that human activity is not the only reason. So let's not only think of the carbon footprint, which we can manage on a spiritual way. It's even much more than that, according to her. Then this was a very practical question by one of the seniors, that some children don't have reverence for seniors at home and family. And what's the reason for that? So she said that we need to respect them. Actually, young people are trying to find themselves and exercise their freedom. And it's not right to generalize like this, that juniors don't have reverence for seniors. Many people do have reverence for elders. It's just everyone's experience is so different. Speaking of reverence from the BK point of view, I mean the Brahma Kumaris, many people say that the Brahma Kumaris have their own philosophy and they don't have reverence for holy scriptures. So is that true? So she went on to say that who wrote those holy scriptures and why? She started with that basic question. And she also mentioned that God didn't write these scriptures. They were written much later, from the medieval times, after the Copper Age started. And God never writes scriptures. God just speaks. The Supreme Being just speaks. And there are a lot of contradictions, because over a period of time, what someone has written is altered. And she went on to say that Bible too has many translations. 800 years after Christ, it was decided what Christianity should be. So there were many sort of versions in that as well. So this she was saying, so that she was trying to explain that at the Brahma Kumaris also, we are trying to understand what spirituality is and what is the knowledge given by the Supreme Being. So the Supreme Being says that I am communicating with you and I am incorporeal, and only people who are mystic can understand. So if I, in the sense, mystic means if I can practice being a yogi, being a bodiless and an incorporeal, practicing the soul conscious stage very often now and then I can really communicate with the Supreme Being. And then I really don't need the holy scriptures for that. A next interesting question was, what's the best way to show reverence towards God? Prayer or meditation? So I felt she would say meditation, honestly, but she said, doesn't matter. It's all a relationship with God, what you have. It's a personal choice. So we can't sort of be judgmental towards those who say, I can connect with the Supreme Being in prayer. It's each to his own. So it's good if they are able to connect in prayer as well. Everything happens for the best, as many of you all were saying in the sharings today as well. So what is good about the wars that are happening? So she said, see it by detaching yourself from that situation, because we are really passing through a tough time where there are extreme circumstances. And these wars are just a part of it, one part of it. Other parts could be natural calamities like earthquakes, forest fires, etc. Then it could be other things like upheavals, in the sense civic sufferings of civil wars, which happen every now and then in India. It had happened many times before as well. So it's all a part of that extreme thing which we are witnessing now. So let's detach and see that. And she said that let's not lose hope. A new world is coming soon. It will be built soon. And I think I'll take the last question. I think it's the last. How does one experience a relationship with a point of light? Because a point is so tiny. So she said that you don't need to have a relationship with a point. That is not what is being said. You know yourself, your identity, and connect with the Supreme Being and interact with that in many different ways. And also we are taught here at Brahma Kumaris about three main relationships, that he is the supreme parent, the teacher, and also the guru who really takes us back to the soul world. So God is subtle. Let me also be subtle and try to have connection through various relationships with him. So it's not really experiencing relationship with a point. Okay, so I think we've covered everything today. So thank you so much, all of you, for bearing with me. And still I finished before time. And now we have our, yes, I'm sure she'll be soon here. BK Manhattan is waiting. All of us are waiting for her. And yeah, thank you so much. And before I give it to you, I need to really introduce you to our audience, because you're joining with us for the first time. And many of you don't know Sister Rona. She's actually a medical doctor. So I'll tell you a bit about her. She's a Dutch. She was born in the Netherlands, where she studied medicine. And as a medical doctor, she's worked in refugee camps, in psychiatry, and in clinical geriatrics. Geriatrics is opposite of pediatrics, dealing with old age people. Her special interest is in total health, well-being, and the forces that generate stress, illness, and suffering. So she's all sort of holistic medicine. She's convinced that the ailments of human beings have their roots at the level of consciousness. She's a student, a Raj Yoga student, and a meditator, practicing for more than 25 years. And since the past 13 years, she's dedicated herself fully to the work of Brahma Kumaris. And as we can see that she's presently based in Manhattan. I'm sure all of you know this downtown Manhattan, which is sort of such a chaotic place, so busy and noisy. All of you know that. And I have visited that center. It's really a nice, a peaceful solace place to be here, and sees all the activities there at the Manhattan Meditation Center. And also she's authored the book called Experience Meditation. And as always, a few lines for her. So today our special guest, Sister Rona, is from the busy Manhattan, where how to remain peaceful as an art has been forgotten. And peacelessness as a life's routine has naturally gotten. She helps such souls to uplift and arise from the noisy rotten, where the noise of thoughts and the chaos is regularly shot in. There she provides a place of solace for the soul to set in. People at the Manhattan Center find purity as white as cotton and feel their hearts melting and indeed soften. Where peacelessness and rage make people feel very hot, her face neutralizes that like a drop of peaceful calm. Finally, though she's serving in an area that appears quite foreign, but she's inspired all the souls there to be genuinely human. So with this, I pass it on to Sister Rona. And thank you so much for your time. I know it's a busy day in the morning there, Saturday, and the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manoj. And good morning from Manhattan. Good afternoon or good evening for those who are elsewhere. And very much appreciate this invitation to share something on this value of reverence. And you must have heard so much already, so much of the of Sister Denise and what was shared before. So what could I add? It becomes very difficult to bring something new. But wanted to approach it from essential spiritual understandings. And you heard there is a difference between, or the difference between respect and reverence. Reverence is a form of respect, but much more higher. Reverence is when you look up to someone who is, or something that is bigger or more powerful or more expert than you. But it is not a feeling of inequality, but just a deeper feeling of respect for something higher, something deeper, something bigger. And reverence, how would we use that in our practical day-to-day life, coming from it, from the spiritual angle? And if you give me a minute, I need to do some technical things. Just a minute, and then I'll be back. And we will explore this also with some imagery, with some sketches. So I will go over to the whiteboard, and then we'll take it further. Okay, is the board?
Yes, it's visible.
Is the board visible now?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when we think of the word reverence, and especially in the context of interacting with human beings, interacting with each other, what is it that we truly revere, or what is it that we truly respect? And this is where we need to be a bit more clear on approaching it from a spiritual angle. Normally, when we think of ourselves and when we think of others, we think of them in terms of human being. Now, so the word human being is a word that we use very haphazardly most of the time. Very commonly, we use this word to indicate who am I, who is someone else, but we don't really recognize and understand what it really means. And when I use the word reverence, when I use the value reverence, then what is it? Who am I revering? Who am I respecting? What is it that I am respecting? In myself or in others? And so it is very useful to understand these words a bit better. Now, the human part is the physical. I don't want to insult anyone, but just to give an indication, the human part, the body, the physical personality, and the things around the body. Around the body, there are others, our friends, our relatives, our colleagues, objects, maybe a house or an apartment. There is a culture, a language, an education, maybe a job. There is your financial situation, financial status, your electronic gadgets and your Facebook account and your Twitter and your Instagram account. So when I look at this picture, if I revere or if I respect, what is it that I respect? Am I respecting the body? Am I respecting the physical personality? Am I respecting their friends or their family and connection? Am I respecting their Facebook account, revering their YouTube channel? Am I revering their bank account? What is it that I am revering or lower grade respecting? And coming back to this word, human being. So what is the being part? The being is the invisible experiencer, the being of consciousness, the invisible presence who gives life to all of this, who acts out all of this. And in the Brahma Kumaris, in the Raj Yoga knowledge, we use the image of light to indicate the being, the soul, the one who is different, separate from all of this, the one who is the experiencer, the one who has the ability to think, the one who has the ability to create feelings and emotions, the one who is using all this to play out a part on this world drama stage. So when I use the word revere, or even a lower step, respect, what is it that am I respecting? All of this is temporary in nature. Even the body, even if it lasts 120 years, it is still temporary. There is a beginning, there is an end. The human personality, there is a beginning and an end. The bank account, there is a beginning and an end. Even the relationships, there are beginning and end. And not only that, it can change and it can end anytime. All of these things are actually very unpredictable. They can change, they can stop anytime, and they don't ask your permission to stop or to change. So what is it that I am revering? And taking into account that value of reverence has that connotation of being of a higher order, something higher, something deeper, something beyond, something truth, then it cannot be for this. because this is usually just very ordinary. Even if there are some virtues, even if there is some dignity, it is still not timeless. It is still not changeless. So when it comes to reverence, it should be for the one who is behind all of this, the soul. And to understand the soul is very nice, deeper, what is the word? Insights in that. No? One of the famous Sufi poets has had a nice quote on this. You do not live on this earth. You're just passing through. This is said about the being of consciousness. This is said about the traveler, the one who is traveling through time and space. This is said about the one who is a guest and a visitor on this planet, a guest and a visitor in this body. Now, that being is innately God-like. That being is immortal. That being is the real you. And even reflecting on this, the immortal, timeless, innately pure and God-like being, that is you, that is me, that is everyone, truly. If we reflect on this and if we deeply grasp this, we cannot help but feel feelings of reverence, feel feelings of respect. But we need that wisdom to see with that eye of wisdom, because we need to perceive the invisible behind the visible. And in ordinary consciousness, we tend to see what is visible and see what is tangible and respect based on that what is reflected at a visible and a tangible level. And we feel okay because they have a good position, they are CEO of something, or they have some big, what is it, limousine. Now here in Manhattan, you see these huge cars. and when the car passes by, some of the people on the pavement with open eyes watching in reverence of the car. And the one sitting in the car, but that car won't last. And some accident, then there is a bump in the car or a scratch in the car, and then the reverence is gone. So within the context of those who want to grasp the deeper secrets of life and understand the deeper dynamics of life, we appreciate all of these things. Nothing wrong with a big limousine or whatever. You appreciate it. But reverence is something else. And understanding the real meaning of life, that is of a different order. Then it would be very useful to not be impressed with all these big white limousine or whatever it is, a big fat bank account or a YouTube channel of a few million people. That is nice. You appreciate interesting drama going on. But reverence is for the invisible actors, the timeless and the immortal beings. And what is very interesting is if we are more and more aware of ourselves and others, of being these invisible, innately God-like living lights, if that consciousness is there, we will feel secure. And when we feel deeply secure, we can truly love. When we feel deeply secure, we can really be at peace. When we feel deeply secure, we can truly respect and revere others from a space that is clean, not where we are needy and where we are wanting or expecting something. And that mind that is free from needs, a mind that is free from desires, that will reflect at this level in a more healthy life in general, even a more healthy body also. A life and a society that is healthy is rooted in the in an attitude of reverence for what is divine, in reverence for who we innately are. And once we begin to recognize the true self and the true everyone else also as a true spiritual being, and revere that, then we will have a world that is very different also. We will have a life and a body that is very different also. And unfortunately, this deeper wisdom, the knowledge about the invisible, the truth about who we are and what life is actually all about, that wisdom has been lost to humanity. And of course, we are fortunate, we are getting exposed to this wisdom, we are getting exposed to this knowledge. But reverence for this wisdom, reverence for God, reverence for ourselves, and reverence for each other would be to implement this in our vision, in our attitude towards ourselves, towards others, and make it natural. Real respect, real reverence for another would be if you recognize them as these eternal, invisible, but God-like living lights, and treat them with that vision. Hold that highest vision for others, regardless of the behavior here sometimes, because that behavior here may be manifested because of their lack of insight and lack of that experience of that deeper sense of safety and security that comes from knowing the self truly as a timeless being of light. And so people who are acting in a certain way, it is because behind there is some confusion. Behind there is some level of not knowing the deeper truths of self, where we have come from, who we are, where we're going, what we are supposed to do here. And someone who is in confusion, you don't condemn them. You don't get mad or angry with them. Someone who is sick, you don't, what is it? You don't discard of them. You help treat them. You help them come into clarity. You help them come into a state where they can be healed. And that is another expression of reverence, that you don't look at the limited behavior or limited expressions in the human world, but because you understand that there is lack of understanding of true self, lack of understanding of the beautiful, innately higher being they are. And they have as if succumbed to that lower nature because of some spiritual ignorance. And so you don't get angry or ill-treat them or become violent or condemn them. No, real reverence is that you hold that vision of greatness, that you hold that vision of who they truly are. You don't drop that vision. And you hold them in that esteem, and you encourage for them to also begin to see the beauty of who they truly are. But of course, all of this can only happen when I first realize this for myself and have a sense of reverence for who I truly am also. Let us stop at this moment, and if there are any comments or questions, is this a bit clear? Is this a bit understandable? Any comments or questions so far before we move on to the next?
I have a question. You talk about soul. Is you do not mention about Supreme Soul Shiva Baba. So can you explain also?
Yeah, we'll come to that. That is the next step. So if there is any comment or question on this so far. Yeah, so there's a question here.
Yeah.
At this,
How do you connect self-respect and reverence? Because reverence means you may forget your self-respect, you know? So something like that.
the difference between how to connect respect and reverence, as I understand it, and how it was explained to me, is to revere or to have a feeling of reverence. It is a very high form of respect. It is when you feel a deep respect for something that is higher and bigger and maybe more skilled or more wise than you. That it is a high form of respect. That is how I understand it. And revere means, if you truly revere something, it means you can drop your own needs or your own comforts just to accommodate or to cooperate with the one or that thing that you revere. This is how I understand it. Fatima is raising hand. Please unmute.
Yeah. We have unmuted you, Fatima. You can go ahead, please.
Yes. Sorry. I forget to do that. Now it's okay, my voice? Yes?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, thank you so much, Sita. So I think it's too much important. We understand what your sister told us, that we are soul. So when I see myself and the other as a soul, I respect myself and the other, our inner self, our true self.
Yeah.
Not the, of course, the wonderful things. And for me, this is the most beautiful thing. Sorry, one of the most beautiful things I find in this Jian in Srimad of Baba. This I look to the other as a soul, so I respect him, but I respect myself.
Very good.
Even that's my experience. Shanti, thank you so much.
Excellent. Just one thing to emphasize. I know you are all very experienced spiritual practitioners and meditators, but just to emphasize this, it is not I am human and I have a being. It's not I am a human and I have a soul. I am the soul. And body is given to me on loan from matter to use for a certain period of time. This body doesn't belong to me. It is not me and doesn't belong to me. This body belongs to matter. And I am given this body on loan for a temporary period to play the part. And when I play the part well for what the body was meant for, then matter will cooperate with me. Body will cooperate with me. But if I use the body, I, the soul, if I use the body for what it was not meant for, then body will not cooperate. Sooner or later, body will become sick, illness, whatever level of expression that has. So for example, this body is like a miracle. You know, this is a miracle of nature. And we are given this miracle of nature to play this human game. What a wonder, what a beauty. So we should even have feelings of reverence and respect for matter and for nature and for this body. But then we start using this body for stress and for greed and for arrogance, and we start to show off, look at my body, and we paint it and we do all kinds of surgeries on it and to make it look in a certain way. That is not reverence for matter or for the body. We use this body for greed and for lust and for attachments and for anger. No wonder matter says, wait a minute, that is not why I gave you that body. So body is not going to cooperate sooner or later. And so all these are deeper aspects of reverence. But the first point, the real self, is the being, the spiritual, immortal, living light. One who has come from the dimension beyond, one who has come from God's world, one who belongs to God, the Supreme, one who will return to the Supreme. That one has been given this part to play, has been giving this body to play the part. So let's play the part also with reverence to that innate, original, pure nature and intention, what it was meant for. Then we are as if giving respect, even further giving reverence to human existence also, to human life. Then we're giving reverence to the body and to matter, what it is offering us. But at this moment in time, the world is as if steeped in, trapped in the opposite. No, we're searching for happiness, we're searching for love, we're searching for safety at this level. And then we're misusing and abusing the body, misusing and abusing the things around the body. And then when nature reacts, we say, oh, why God sent some calamity? But it is our own lack of deeper understanding and of implementing deeper understandings. So true reverence towards self, towards others, towards nature, it manifests in using this and playing the part in a benevolent way, in a way that uplifts and empowers each and every one, in a way that is free from limited, egoistic desires.
This point, if I can, actually, there's the participant, Michael. He said that, do I compromise my self-respect? I know the deeper realization of who I am and seeing others in that sense. I think that is the answer. But if you can elaborate on, as you said, whom you revere, you don't see your needs. But to what extent you go? Or
Yeah, I understand. No, it is not that you compromise your own principles or your own what is it? Your own specialities, but you use your specialities in service of that higher purpose. And so if there is reverence for someone, you can let go of your afternoon nap, for example, if it is in service of uplifting others, for example. So it is not that I let go of my self-respect, but it is I use my specialities for a higher task. I use my specialities for a higher purpose. And then I can let go of comforts.
Right. So need in the sense of
meant. Yeah, it is not that I am subservient, but a simple example. I'm trying to think. This example of giving. Sometimes you are used to a certain habit of afternoon nap, but sometimes there is need of sacrificing that. And you can do that if it is for a higher purpose.
makes total sense. Thank you so much.
That's what I meant. And then this other question is, what about the Supreme? Personally, I must say, we do not necessarily need to rush into bringing God in. No, of course, there is importance in understanding and developing and deepening a relationship with the Supreme and understanding the Supreme and that reverence for the Supreme. All of that, absolute importance. But I think we need to put the foundations right. Otherwise, it becomes a devotional kind of understanding and relationship with God. And so the foundation for developing even a proper understanding of the Supreme is first to understand the true self and get this distinction very clear of what is human and what is the real me, what is the part and what is the being, who is the real self and who am I not? Because the soul is child of the Supreme, and that is an eternal relationship. That is an eternal bond, and that is an eternal connection. But first, we need to properly understand who is I. And if we skip this step, or if we take it too lightly or too superficially, we can easily get stuck into some devotional or religious type of concept of God or relationship that is based on blind faith. So I would definitely like to underline true reverence for God begins with true understanding of real self, and not to take this lightly. These limited and wrong understandings of who we are very deep within our consciousness. Even though we use the word soul, 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 we still feel I'm a female, for example. I am not a female. Female is a characteristic of the body. Male, female is a characteristic of the vehicle. Soul is beyond male and female. We very easily think I am American, or I am Indian, or I am Russian, or I am European. I am not that. Those are characteristics of the part. That is all perishable. And if I, in myself, identify as a male or female, or as someone with a certain education, or as a doctor, in that consciousness, I cannot truly connect to God. If I connect to God, it is in that beggar mode, oh, help me, or please let me be this or not be this. And so to truly understand the Supreme, we first need to properly understand and experience ourselves as these invisible beings of consciousness, invisible experiencers. And we have few more minutes. Do we have? Is it? I'm not fully.
Yeah, you have 8 minutes
8
still.
minutes. Yeah. See, just 8 minutes. How can we truly explain something deep?
Sister, I have one question. Can you explain more about soul journey, soul about like soul is the like feel soul is itself all seven powers, and if we feel bliss being bliss in I understand fully about you said if we understand soul first, what is the soul journey, then we understand more God. It means inside the soul everything bliss, happiness, and every seven qualities inside. If we first understand soul, then we understand more. We get the power from spring soul. Is you want to say about that?
I will mention few things, but
Yeah.
to also understand that spirituality is a journey in itself. No, even this knowledge is like vast. Raj
Yes.
Yoga knowledge is vast, and there are so many aspects. So to squeeze everything into 1 hour, I won't do justice to that deep knowledge. But I also would like to invite each and every one of you to deepen and explore the different aspects of this knowledge, and also not in terms of the different topics, but also in depth, all the different topics. And I'm sure many of you are doing that. But just a few words on this request, the journey of the being. So if this is the physical dimension, and part of our meditation practices, part of our waking up process is to begin to understand that there is a physical dimension and there is a non-physical dimension. There is a visible, tangible world, and there is an invisible, intangible world. And what we were drawing back there, the world of matter, the visible world, the tangible world, the world of bodies, and the world of sound, the world of change, the world of time. That is all the physical dimension. The world of objects, the world of animals. Animals, these are birds. Nature, the world of dollars, the world of all the online. This is a mobile phone, little bit not symmetric, but job, education, your social activities, all of this, and some more things, of course, religion, that is all characterizes the physical dimension. But we are invisible beings of consciousness, non-physical. So we are those, and the image we use is light, soul, or the invisible experiencer, or the invisible observer. The soul associates with a body to experience this physical dimension, to express, associate for a temporary period with the body. But the soul has come from that non-physical dimension. At some stage in time, the invisible presence, the invisible God-like being has entered the physical world. But to experience and express, we need a physical vehicle. So we enter a body, use the body for a while, we journey through the physical dimension, and at some stage, we leave the physical dimension again. And on this journey, we can take more than one vehicle. If this vehicle becomes old and we still haven't ended the journey, we can take another vehicle, another body. Body can change. We can take many vehicles, one after the other. But at the end of the journey, we will leave the physical dimension again. And we will return what is called to the home of the soul, the home of the God-like beings, the dimension beyond matter, the dimension beyond sound, the dimension beyond time, the dimension beyond change. We have come from there where we existed as beings of peace, beings of bliss, beings of power, beings of purity. And with that, in that state, we came into the physical world to express that peace, that power, that wisdom, to play the game of human life, to journey in the physical dimension and to express. But over time, we forgot where we came from. We forgot who we are. And we started, our consciousness became so limited and trapped in sense experiences, trapped in the physical dimension. And becoming trapped means we're getting attached, we're getting in bondage, we're getting dependent, we're getting addicted on temporary things. We're getting into ego, we're getting into lust and greed, totally entangled here, even forgotten that we are spiritual beings. Started to think I am male or female, or I am black or white, or I am Indian or American, or I am rich or poor. Our consciousness completely became trapped here. And as a result of that, we feel trapped, we feel in bondage, we feel insecure, we feel needy, we get into a beggar mode, we suffer. And the karmic accounts that come up because we use the body in a wrong way, illnesses increase, we don't know how to relate to each other, relationships, problems, matter itself is as if almost like upset with us, creating all kinds of calamities. So we spoiled the game by getting into this limited consciousness. We even forgotten that it is a game and it has become like a war. So the real reverence for self and for each other would be to restore that broader perspective, to restore spiritual awareness, to remember again home. And there is one who never loses clarity. There is one soul who never lets go of this total picture, who never loses wisdom, who never loses peace, who never loses the ability to unconditionally love. That is the one who is called the Supreme Soul. The one who is remembered in many traditions and in many religions as God and Allah and Shiva and Shankai and Jehovah, different names, but that one who never loses the clarity of the total picture and therefore always is secure and always is like an ocean of peace, an ocean of love. And we are like a family of souls, and we all belong to that Supreme, and we all innately are like the Supreme. And to live in that awareness would be like the ultimate reverence to ourselves, and to see each other with that vision would be like reverence to know the Supreme as the Supreme truly is, would be reverence to God. And to play this game of human life in that highest state of awareness would be the manifestation of reverence to matter. Okay. It's quite a challenge to bring all of this into 1 hour. But, Fatima is saying about meditation. Meditation is when you deeply reflect on these things, when you hold spiritual thoughts in your mind and allow those thoughts to become a deeper experience. And when you hold those thoughts in the mind, something like invisible, immortal being of light, you hold those thoughts in your mind with that visual image of a tiny star, then those feelings emerge. That memory is woken up. That memory that is as if buried in your consciousness is woken up. And you begin to see the truth of this. And those feelings and experiences come back to your mind. That is what the process of meditation is. But having said that, we should not separate the knowledge from the experience, even whilst we're talking about this, whilst we're sharing with each other about these things, whilst we're thinking about it. Allow those feelings and that experience to be there also. Not only when you sit down in silence, quietly, somewhere in a corner or in a meditation room. That is excellent to do that. But even now, let us aim to experience this whilst talking or listening or sharing about these things. Let it not be just some nice information, but deeper inside, you know, this is truth. This is right. And allow those feelings. Every word has its own feelings with it. So let's not separate the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge and the gyan from the experience of it, from the yoga. As we think, as we go about our daily business, as we reflect on it, as we share, as we talk, allow that deeper experience to emerge also. And when you sit down in meditation, you take your time in the morning hours or whenever, you as if get lost in the depths of it. Perfect. But it's don't separate. Now I'm studying or now I'm listening and now I am meditating. The aim is to be in a meditative state of consciousness. Whether I sit down to meditate or whether I go about my business or whether we are sharing these things with each other. Okay.
So wonderful. Thank you so much. A lot of reverence for you as well. You were standing almost 1 hour for all of us. Thank you so much. And with this, I'll just invite our seniors now. We have Dr. Ashok Mehta with us. So I'll ask him to please propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Mehta.
Our revered
Yeah, she's coming. She's just gone to get the mic.
Our revered Dr. Ashok Mehta.
Rona Ben, I liked the softness of your speech. Beautiful. Smiling, Baba says, that face which represents him. I was watching all the words were not important, only your presentation, your presence and your presentation were superb. I like a teacher in you. like a primary school, take a chalk in your hand and draw those beautiful caricatures. They remain forever with you. It's beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Deep understanding of the self. I think you took it to the large extent. And of course, all of us, we have the Baba's knowledge and the Gyan, but a beautiful, different way of presenting it, which makes it very interesting. And especially when a subject like reverence is being presented, we have the reverence for, beautiful things in nature, beautiful things created by the Creator. So I think you have really presented so beautifully. Thank you very much for sharing the knowledge. Are you a teacher by any chance? Teacher in the school at any time?
No, no.
Very
All was taught through the institution.
so school, what do you call, architecture, not architecture, the where you draw the pictures.
Actually, yeah, I learned from others, of course. There are more senior yogis who also use the whiteboard and do sketches, but also for a long time, I was in the Dominican Republic where they speak Spanish and I couldn't speak Spanish. So to convey the knowledge, I started writing because people understand the writing. So that is how that style evolved more.
And very much resemble when you speak, the way Indians speak, slowly and separating all the syllables. I think we feel oneness with you. Thank you very much. Enjoy everything that you said.
Yeah. And
If
thanks
I
for
can take
this
a minute here.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And
Bhai, if I can take a minute here. Yeah, Sister Rona has written a small little booklet, says Whisper from the Other Dimension. I think everybody should read it. It just takes you to that total silence, stillness. So beautiful. And we all saw that. I also want to mention reverence for Dr. Mehta, as he completed, I don't know, it was his birthday 2 days before. So we should all really wish him, as whoever knows him, he has been contributing greatly and he is an oncologist in surgery. And I have seen him in action. So I know, but even if we don't know, that's where we know that how much he has contributed. He was the president of Association of Surgeons of India in 1986. So I just came to know, and yeah, I mean, such a long journey of great contribution to all of us, the humanity. So thank you, Dr. Mehta, and we know your love for instilling values in everyone's life and hearts. And so these programs are really running very beautifully. So wanted to not miss this. We all want to wish you happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm as old as a Yagya. I was born in 37 December. Probably Yagya started either 36 or 37, but I think we call it 86 years now. So I'm 86. I go parallel with Yagya. It's very interesting that the Association of Surgeons of India, which is the second largest association in the world, 35,000 members now, was also born in the same year, 37. So I think 37 seems to be an interesting coincidence with my birth. Thank you for your good wishes, Alvin. And the love that you have shown, beautiful.
So many more wishes coming in the chat box. Maybe you want to check it out, Dr. Mehta. So yes, belated happy birthday. Right. So yeah, before we go into the meditation mode, I will just share the screen and do the announcements quickly for the upcoming events. So here we go. So Our next episode, we enter 80. As Dr. Mehta is 86, 87, we also enter 80, our Values for Life series. And I'm sure you know Asha Didi's name itself is suggestive of hope. No, it's not a coincidence, divine coincidence this time. It was we wanted to, we really wanted her to do this because her name itself is suggestive of hope. So we are fortunate that she'll be there, and Christmas is around the corner. So we have this special episode a day before the Christmas Eve. So all of you are welcome to join. Same timing, 8:15 India, and the West Coast is 6:45 a.m. 23rd December. And as always, the workshop following that would be from another special soul from the West Coast of US, from Anubhuti, Sister Elizabeth. And it will be on the 30th of December. So this will be the last workshop of 2023, after which we enter January. We'll do that announcements later, what we have. And this is again an elegant calendar, which Sister Kosha does it for all of us again. And finally, these are our websites and email addresses. Please feel free to visit the workshops and the Values for Life series episodes on these links. And also please share in your feedbacks, comments. We would love to hear from you all. We are planning to go until 100. So we have 20 more workshops and episodes, and let's see what will happen after 100 of them. Okay, I'll just stop sharing the screen now and just invite, oh yeah, we have a lot of birthday cake showering in the chat box from people. Thank you, all of you. And we'll go into the meditation mode now. And do you want some soft music or just silence is fine, whatever you say.
Oh, am I supposed to say, or who?
Oh yeah, so just directing the closing meditation on reverence. You want
So
to
I speak
do
some words, or
yeah, maybe
just
commentary or drishti, whatever suits you, yeah, whatever you're comfortable.
You can
I'll
do a
speak
comment.
few words. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
speak few words, but no music, just
Sure.
silence. How long do we have?
Yeah, 5 minutes, 4-5 minutes, yeah.
The word reverence is connected with deeper understanding, deeper recognition of higher truths. And reverence in action is when we recognize self and others as
Sorry, sister is muted by mistake.
No, it just happened now because there was a lot of disturbance, so I just muted all. Sorry for that. So you were heard.
and reverence in action is when we know and recognize the eternal nature of the soul. And see everyone else with that vision also. Right here, right now, there are some 70 invisible, timeless, living beings of consciousness, immortal beings, godlike beings. And we play this human game but we are not human beings, we are spiritual beings with innate godlike potential. To hold that vision, to hold this awareness. Is the expression of reverence. And who gives us this awareness? Who reminds us of who we truly are? That one who is ever wise, ever pure, ever clear. The Supreme One. When I recognize and experience the benefits of this soul conscious state, I cannot help but have feelings of reverence, of utmost respect for God. But for a few moments, let us aim to fully grasp that state. Pure soul, timeless, invisible observer, living light. Like a tiny star, and just fill the mind with this image and with these thoughts. A living being of light. Innocent and clean. This is the truth of each and every one of us. All souls are children of God. Let us aim to hold this vision for self and for others as we continue to play the game of human life. Om Shanti.
Shanti, thank you so much once again.
And we'll take 1 minute to take the photograph. We do take our virtual photograph with you, Sister Rona. So
Okay.
everyone.
I'll be interested to see how that works.
We'll send
Everyone.
you that, yeah. We take it in the gallery view, and then some 3 buttons which we press, and then it comes also. I'll send it to you.
So everyone, please open your video. Another few seconds, whoever have not started there. Okay, got it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sister Rona. And yes, we'll send.
Thank you, and my pleasure and honor to be with all of you.